Tastes like goblin piss.
I have lots of experiences with that, dear Maddo. Just trying to diffuse the tension. Let's start with the generic Australia tourism question. How's the trip been?
It is actually so good. I'm paying close attention to the news about Qantas, and I'm kind of hoping they go on strike so I can stay here a little longer.
Well, in which case, that could be the first magic spell that we can do to help you out. But how long have you been here all up now?
We got in last Wednesday, and it's been pretty... Was it Wednesday? No, Thursday, because we crossed the date. No, Wednesday. We lost Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday never happened for us when we flew.
Nothing much happened.
But it was a good day. I mean, Tuesday's a boring day of the week, really. But yes, we've been here just under a week now and loving it, really loving it.
And we're going skydiving tomorrow.
Excellent. Which you're doing for charity?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a shout out for the charity? That seems appropriate.
Yeah, sure. Basically, these, if you ever see interviews and that, and you'll see James and I wearing these bracelets, we're all started by a young guy called Harry Moseley, who's from our home city. And when he was 7, he learned that he had an inoperable brain tumour. And for about 4 years, he was campaigning, selling these bracelets, and raised over £500,000. And unfortunately, he died about a month or 2 ago now. So we thought, we'll keep his charity going, keep everything going, and where better to do a fundraiser than diving out of a plane the other side of the world. Yeah. And it's been really well received because we've got a Just Giving site up at the moment, which is justgiving.com/diving for Harry Moseley. And it's already raised over £1,000, so in under a day. So hopefully we'll get to about 5,000.
So worth jumping out of a plane for.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you sort of plan the career for the next couple of years rather than just project to project?
Not really.
No.
Because I think what's quite different about when you're an actor is that some jobs you don't hear about, like it'll say starting at the end of the month and you'll go for the audition at the start of the month. So it's very much like quick bang bang. So you can't really plan too much, though we have got a couple of projects lined up for the new year, which should be quite fun to do over in California. Anything
you can talk about?
Which, no.
Oh.
Well, there's one we're doing which is like a documentary-esque style thing, which is, I'm really looking forward to shooting that and getting the pilot out, because we're quite creative in that as well. We were actually sent a script earlier in the week, actually on the flight down here.
This makes me wonder, though, because one of you tweeted that, thank you for giving me a book.
The steward came up and he's like, oh, a girl down there sent this to you. And he just had a note and it said, James, if you, just in case you get bored, enjoy the book. And it was The Tempest by Shakespeare. So I was like, okay, I'll give this a go.
And what did you think of The Tempest?
It was good. Didn't really get my head around half of it, but I'll have to go back to my Shakespearean training.
Absolutely. Well, is theatre something you'd want to do?
For me, definitely, yeah. It's, I've been doing classes on it in London because we don't have the experience, so you can't go straight into a big production. But it's definitely...
you can do pantos. I mean, I'm sure you can do a panto.
This time of year especially,
yeah. So yes, the theatre's definitely something which I've looked into doing. And as I said, there's a place in London called the Actors Centre, which it does a class on everything. So whether it be comical, like delivering comical lines, or like proper serious stuff. So yeah, something like that.
Is there an element of swallowing your pride to go back and do the training now, given that you've held such, prime role?
Yeah, there may be slightly, but at the same time, like you wouldn't, if you're a football player, you wouldn't stop training just because you know how to do it. You've got to keep that mentality up. So, and it's never too late to learn stuff, because even the older actors on Potter, even they still have the odd class here and there just to fine tune stuff.
I know that you had a bit of an experience this trip where there was a sort of mix-up. Is that difficult to have fans essentially crying out to you when you are no longer able to do anything about it?
It's a bit more of a... It's more annoying when we had no control in it. So essentially, as far as we were aware, we were just going saying hello and go. But these guys had been told that they were going to meet us, so we kind of insisted on going back out. And unfortunately, because how it was all scheduled was that we literally had half an hour, and then we had an interview, like a live feed somewhere. So we kind of like saw as many people as we can, and those who didn't, then we just sent them a message on Twitter, saying hey. But it's... Or
even those people on Twitter who did, as you say, who did get in touch, who were quite upset. Like, we left them signed stuff at the reception desk, and they tweeted the next day to say thank you. And it is a good tool, because that way it's not... Some people could perceive that that's just us being, awkward or don't want to do it.
It was something I hadn't really quite wrapped my head around until I was reading your Twitter feed. You obviously are getting a lot of gifts from fans.
Yeah, it's been... blown away by how nice the response has been while we've been out here. It's not just like they've walked past a gift shop on the way. It's stuff what we can relate to and enjoy, which is just the great thing.
You didn't
about
get
it,
them anything.
I know, yeah, we gave them a smile. Maybe that'll do.
Now, look, we need to mention the DVD home entertainment release of Harry Potter. And do we get to see you die in the deleted scenes? Is that... Okay.
No.
No?
No, that's
Did you ever shoot it?
No. No.
It was never in the script.
It wasn't in the script, and the script got edited, and I did have quite a few discussions with the producers about it.
Did you throw a tantrum?
But no, I didn't. I guess, well, yeah.
Perfectly reasonable.
Well,
I mean, if you're going to get killed off, you're going to...
Obviously, I was a little disappointed that it didn't go in, but at the same time, it still made a great scene. And a lot of people are like, I cried my eyes out when you died. That was my biggest fear, was that you wouldn't... The emotional side would be detached from it. But it looked at it in a completely new way. And I think David Yates and David Hay and David Barron got the call right in that, how they shot it eventually. And they made a compromise, is that there's a scene which was never originally in the script with Fred and George when they're looking out over the before it all goes AWOL.
Be pear-shaped.
Yeah, basically, and that's the first time and only time you ever see them vulnerable, and that was our last thing we shot. So I'm very thankful for them for putting that in the film.